Risk, and welcome back to Koppai Podcast, episode 26. I am one of your hosts, Kaz Risk, joined alongside Mr. Koppai himself, Zach Risk.
Thank you for having me on the show today. When I was a little boy, one of my first memories is sitting on a beach, looking out at a bucket.
Yeah.
Went floating out.
Did we talk about that on Koppai? When did we talk about that? I remember that story.
I don't know. I think that we've just talked about it before. Maybe it's one of my earliest memories.
Oh, it was on Mito.
Oh,
that's what I know, because I know that answer because that was one of your answers, because Mito asked what's one of your earliest memories, and that was your answer, and then I made a me photo with it. I put you on the beach staring out of the. I'm like, I recently heard that. Right on. Welcome, everyone else. Be sure to leave.
Thank you for having me on the show. By the way, I'm the co-host, but yeah.
Yeah, we're really glad to have you. Zach, it's E3 week.
It is. I'm so excited.
Right, we're recording this on Sunday, but when you guys listen to this, it'll be Monday, and that means tomorrow will be too much Zelda. It'll be just we know nothing about Zelda. They're gonna take it and just be like, "You want information? Here it is!" And they're gonna shove it down our throats, and we're gonna like it.
Yeah.
Reggie's gonna just be like, "Take the sword."
It's gonna be a Zelda binge.
It's gonna be an awesome week, though. I mean, we are gamers hardcore beyond Nintendo, and I think in all of the hype around Koppai and thus around Nintendo, I keep thinking Zelda. What's my predictions? When's the Direct gonna be? What's Nintendo gonna do? Where's the NX? Like, my mind's been so focused on Nintendo that I forgot. Wait a second. There's gonna be a PlayStation conference. There's gonna be an Xbox conference. There's gonna be EA's gonna announce new things. I mean, and it was when they started to announce like Watch Dogs and when the Destiny DLC had their live stream. Like, I was like, oh wait, this is gonna be a huge week beyond Nintendo too. So that's really exciting. But we're also super pumped to watch E3 this week. Speaking of E3, we're gonna be trying to do some live coverage of that. Actually, you know, we probably just will. I mean, I think it's pretty.
It might be a big fail.
Yeah, we're kind
of Koppai on the fly, like we did our Koppai live.
Yeah,
it'll kind of be like that, I'd say.
Yeah, what we're gonna do is tomorrow morning when you're listening to this, so Tuesday morning, what we're gonna do is just set up basically how we're streaming a video game, but we're just gonna have it so it's capturing the Twitch, the E3 conference, and what we'll do is we'll do a half hour, I think, before the show. And then we'll do, if they have, it'll be tricky because we don't know exactly the format of how things are going down. Because normally what we would do is they'd have the Direct and we would watch the Direct and then discuss the Direct afterwards. But we don't know if that'll be the case. And so what we may do is do a half-hour discussion prior to the Treehouse live streaming, and then after they show the initial demo of The Legend of Zelda, maybe we'll do like a direct response to that. But we won't be interrupting the actual show, and so you can watch E3 through Koppai, but then also we'll have like tidbits of discussion when it is appropriate, maybe while they're transitioning between different things. And so I think that sounds about fair, because we want to make sure that we're not interrupting the experience for you watching it, but it's also a way to basically just hang out with us and a little bit of extra outreach for us to do to kind of share what Koppai is all about. And yeah, we'll find a structure for it as we go. Koppai on the fly, because we don't know how Nintendo's handling it. We don't know what they're doing, really. I mean, we know that they're doing the live streams. We don't know if they're going to do the 90-minute block right off the bat, and then they're going to take a half-hour break, or if they're doing this, or they're doing spurts of Zelda. Like, maybe they're not doing the 90-minute demo. We don't know. They haven't said anything. They just say, join us for the Zelda experience. And we got, we kicked Allison Rapp out, but the rest of us are here. Audrey Drake will be there.
Yeah.
Those two guys that always hang out and they're always like making jokes and stuff. They're gonna be there. They're fun.
That one guy left, Mr. Nintendo.
Mr. Nintendo. That's all I know him as.
Yeah.
But so yeah. I also
tune in to see our faces as we watch.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
And then maybe mind blown faces.
Yeah. We'll probably just put us in a corner or something, but then we'll probably fade us away quite a bit.
Giddy faces, smiles the whole time.
You can find that over on gaming.youtube.com/Koppai Gaming or youtube.com/Koppai Gaming, or we may try to get it on Twitch as well, but that's kind of tricky because it messes with the bit rate and all of that numbers, and I try to do 2 simultaneous streams at the same time, and it just went straight to the pooper. And Gary Oak was in the chat, and he was just like, "Smell you later." And I'm like, "Oh, Gary, you're really sticking to your character." But he was being so rude. Actually, he was pretty fun, and he subscribed, so thank you. In other news...
Like the real Gary.
Yeah, I think what we're going to do also, in other news, we have Patreon. We have the Patreon episodes up. I think for that 1 week when we don't have... When I'm on my honeymoon, and also when I'm moving, like back-to-back weeks, we'll do one episode where we do our Game of the Year watch. But at that week, what I'll do... is we have 4 Patreon exclusive episodes. I'll take a snippet from each one, meld them together into one episode, and you'll get a Patreon sneak peek episode that week, which will be an hour long, 4 different snippets, each one about 15 minutes, maybe 10 to 15 minutes.
Cool. And
you'll get it that week. So then we don't have to record that week. I can focus on moving, and you'll get an idea then of if you want to support Koppai over on patreon.com/Koppai Productions. You also can win an NX there. And also, if you're listening on SoundCloud or if you're listening on iTunes, be sure to head over to youtube.com/Koppai Gaming. And if you're listening on youtube.com/Koppai Gaming and you want to listen to us on the go, you can head over to soundcloud.com/Koppai Podcast, and you can download these episodes as an MP3 so you can listen to them without Wi-Fi, without using data. If you're on a drive, if you're working out, etc., etc. We really appreciate the support. We like seeing the download numbers go up. And so we're kind of catering to 2 different audiences right now. So if you don't know about the other audience, you can hop right over there. And if you are listening on iTunes, or even if you listen on YouTube, head over to iTunes and leave us a review. It'd be really nice if we could start to expand that audience as well. Last but not least, in the midst of all this, a message to our streamers. Bullet Same tweeted at us and said, "Yo, where are the live streams?" And here's the thing. We will continuously live stream. We'll live stream a lot. We'll do as much as we can. When we want to play a game and it fits, it's not like heavy story, or like we don't want to be like, if we're not like super immersed and it's just kind of like a Mario Kart, Super Mario Maker, then we see no reason not to plug in the HDMI capture card and start streaming and share the experience with all of you. However, there's going to be some weeks or a while where we just don't want to play games, and Koppai Podcast is our focus, first and foremost, and the Let's Plays, the streams, and the music videos and the trailers are all kind of embellishment until we get the Koppai support on Patreon to justify having them all there. I mean, what we do now is just kind of bonus, but sometimes that takes a lot of time to set up and to manage and to get all the thumbnails there. And when we have wedding planning or jobs or just want to relax, that can be kind of tricky. So what you need to do is, if you support us or give us enough views that the YouTube revenue helps us out, then we can be like, yo, forget this part-time job, we're going to stream full-time. But right now we don't really have the resources or the money to completely live stream all the time. Yeah. You guys just kind of caught us at a moment where we had a lot of free time, kind of the calm before the storm. And so we will definitely stream again, though. What I want to do sometime this week or next week, I want to do the 200cc Mario Kart 8 and see if I can get the 3 stars on all of those, because I have 3 stars on like 4 different cups, and I want to get the rest. And that's a game where I can do a cup, do a Grand Prix, and just hang out with people. But until then, yeah. So I think that's all that for the Nintendo pipe.
Yeah.
Or for the house cleaning. The house is cleaned up. We should be good to go.
Yep, it's spotless.
But there's one thing that's not clean.
What?
And it's this dank, just bubbling, boiling toilet in the corner. And the pipes are filled with a little elfish boy and a little yellow rat and Bill Trennan. And they're all stuck in the pipes, and we need to take a plunger, plunge it in. It's a pretty good plumber impression. And we need to just stick it in there. And we need to pull out all this one by one, inspect it, clean it, discuss it, talk about it for everyone's amusement. 10 minutes in. Woo!
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's unclog this Nintendo pipeline. Nintendo gives fans ways to stay engaged with its E3 related activities.
How in the world are they going to do that?
On June 8th, the Zelda Twitter campaign for Mitomo in-app gifts
went live, yeah. A few days ago.
Yes. That's that. Yeah,
along with
you're
some
right,
really
that's
cool new
correct.
cover art, or not
That's
cover
when the
art.
whole E3 kind of campaign launched, June 8th. I don't know if I got that gift yet. I haven't been in Mitomo.
Well, what they need, because what the deal is to hype for E3 and for Zelda. Nintendo's like, yo, hey, don't forget about Mitomo. If you guys if you retweet basically this advertisement for Mitomo, we'll give you a Zelda hat in Mitomo for free if you guys retweet this enough times.
Yeah, just like that Splatoon thing.
And we got that. We got the Splatoon one, and so we're most likely going to get this one. Really cool, because not only does it include... It's interesting. It includes a new hat that looks like Twilight Princess's kind of Link hair, but then it's classified as the hero's cap or whatever.
Right.
And then also Link's new hair. And the other one is what we've seen, kind of the swoops, way more yellowy blonde, but it's also like there's no hat on it or anything like that, and it just makes me think, like, is Link gonna have a hat in this new game? We haven't seen him with a hat or a green tunic, and people are saying, well, we never saw him with a green tunic.
Is it just like a hoodie that he's been wearing? Or
he's just been popping up a hoodie, like a little Old Navy gray, like heather gray.
Yeah.
He's just kind of been walking around like kind of hands in pockets. But no, it's just interesting that like the promotional material for Zelda, I mean, it's a year out, like it's getting close, the demo's going to start happening. Like, when are we going to see Green Tunic Link? Like, is that going to be held off until the game comes out? Because I wouldn't be surprised if that's part of the game, but it just seems like it's going the Wind Waker route where it's like a different outfit at first, but it's just, I still think that even with Wind Waker,
potentially it's the whole deal where this is a very customizable Link.
Yeah, Triforce Heroes, we saw that.
So so it would just be a generic sort of like Witcher 3, I guess. Geralt or whatever he just kind of has
Geralt is how you say his name.
Really?
No.
I was like, I almost believed you for a second.
I do think it's Geralt.
Yeah.
Like a G.
Gerald.
Eugene. It's like a silent R and L and T. Actually,
but yeah, just like I don't know if you can get little different hats for him, but basically it's how he has
different hoodies.
Yeah,
like kind of like Assassin's Creed, like you get Ezio's outfit in Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, well, I wonder since it's
connected with your Uplay account though.
Well, I guess it's just a rumor at this point. We'll get to that story later, but if it's this rumored future or the past versus technology sort of thing, I wonder if there's a way in the game for you to sort of embrace the more technology side or embrace the more primitive side. That could be a potential.
Yeah, that's why he doesn't have a hat on.
Yep.
But on June 14th, which is...
We're getting more. Yeah, that's coming up here in just a couple days.
More Legend of Zelda Mitomo.
A Mitomo Drop.
Oh, with a Legend of Zelda theme. And they had the Mitomo Drop for the wedding gear, and I'm getting married in 2 weeks, and I won the tuxedo.
Oh.
The wedding tuxedo. I had to look it up online. If you guys go on Reddit, you can just go to Reddit, like just Google search Reddit Mitomo Drop. People have all sorts of little hints and tricks where you can get exactly what you want at Mitomo Drop, which I know it's like kind of cheating and it defeats the purpose, although you still do have to time it out well and all that.
I don't know, that stuff is...
But yeah, it's so like, and you don't get that much stuff. Like, you don't get coins or game tickets often, so definitely, I mean, maybe you wouldn't even think of it, but there are guides out there for even Mitomo Drop. That's the internet. And so I'm definitely going to use it for when this Legend of Zelda stuff comes out. And that's so awesome. I loved the Splatoon stuff. This makes sense. And it's going to be perfect where it's like, they're going to be doing the Zelda live stream on June 14th. And they're going to be like, by the way, like, pull out your phones. And you can get sweet Zelda gear for your little Mii.
Yeah.
Like, I'm loving that the Mii... I'm hoping that the Mii is kind of like your avatar. Like, how you open up the Wii U menu and your Mii sitting there. I hope that the stuff you have with your Mii and Mitomo is what you open up the NX to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, with the Xbox, for example, like when you open the Xbox, like there's people that like unlock different gear for your avatar. Like they look different. Like if you get 100% on Halo, like your guy looks like a Master Chief and stuff, like or a Spartan, I guess.
Right.
Or, yeah, and so it'd be really cool if like you open up your NX and you have your Mii there, and he is dressed up to look like Link from the Legend of Ganon. Yeah,
Link from the Legend of Link.
Link from the Legend. The Link of Link.
A Link to the Link.
A Link to the Link. That's the name of the called here first on Koppai Podcast episode 26. Tuesday they're going to reveal that The Legend of Zelda's 26 or 2017 is actually called The Legend of Link, A Link to the Link. Moving on.
Yep.
Nintendo Treehouse live day 1. If you want, if maybe you aren't a member of the press, maybe you're home alone and you're all depressed that you aren't able to go to E3, fret not. Nintendo Treehouse will be live during day 1 of E3, which is Tuesday. Nintendo kicks off the Nintendo trade show, which, no they don't. Sorry, Nintendo. E3 starts Sunday morning now. It's not official.
Yeah.
But their EA right now is next door to E3 having a party. And Activision's over there. And Hideo Kojima is bowling in LA right now. And they're all having fun. And E3 has officially begun.
Well.
Twitter is being blown up by video game journalists who are all at bars having fun because E3's begun.
Yeah,
and
well, it's true, but like we've already commented on, I think in the last episode, just that Nintendo's kind of doing the minimum this year. I think that they can. I mean, they have some major titles.
I'm just saying, they're like, we're going to kick off E3. We're the first ones. And it's like, yeah, except for all those conferences on Sunday and Monday. You guys didn't start
But
off.
did they... Okay, yeah. Well, Nintendo's kickoff to E3, but I mean, not like the kickoff to E3.
No, whatever. I read that wrong, but I'm still getting on their case. Anyway, if you want to watch their kickoff to E3, that's Tuesday, tomorrow, 9 a.m. Pacific time. Now, you may be wondering, what time zone is that for me? Well, if you live in, I think, Colorado, if you live in the mountains, that'll be 10 a.m. If you live in Nebraska, Minnesota, South Dakota, North Dakota, it'll be 11 PT. Or no, not 11 PT, 11 a.m. And if you live over in the East Coast, if you live in Jersey Shore or Boston, it'll be noon. You can have your little bowl of lunch.
I'm glad that there's just AM and PM. Like, what if it was like from 12 to 4, it's PT, then from 5 to 6, 5 to 6, it's...
I'm just so glad that E3 is in America.
Time.
Like, I was listening to IGN's UK podcast, and they were talking about E3, and they're like, yeah, Sony's press conference is like at 3 a.m. Sucks, because they're in the UK, so like, I mean, it just doesn't match up. That'd be so sad. Although we did have to stay up super late for that Nintendo announcement in Japan, so we do get kind of the short end of the stick sometimes. But anyway, if you go to YouTube, Twitch, or even Nintendo's website, you can watch all of their live coverage. They're going to have a bunch of stuff we kind of just talked about. Or if you just want to watch all that and talk to us at the same time, you can head over to youtube.com/Koppai Gaming as well. But, oh crap.
Butt crap.
Did you giggle at that? You're like, you're so proud of that. The next day, Nintendo will also have more content. They're going to be doing Monster Hunter Generations, Dragon Quest 7, yada yada yada. Once again, all the same things. But you can also tune in for a development Q&A with Pokemon Go developers. And IGN will also have 2 demos being demonstrated. And there's other groups out there, like Kind of Funny's going to be doing coverage. GameSpot, Kotaku's probably not going to be doing... Kotaku's kind of in a little bit of a mess right now because of Hulk Hogan kind of just really messed everything up. But that was kind of Gawker, so that's a whole mess. That's a story in itself on the ethics of journalism and what's the future of Kotaku's going to be, and kind of a pretty big deal in the whole video game journalism field. And so that's that. So lots of ways to watch and tune into E3. And we've reported on the past that there's like a Zelda event going on in New York City that you can be a part of. But it's going to be Tuesday, Wednesdays, the big couple days for Nintendo. But be sure to tune into Sony and PlayStation, because my theory is that inadvertently there's going to be lots of NX talk through these games at the other conferences, even if they're not talked about to be NX releases. I think a lot of these games will end up be coming to the NX. So you may want to be tuning into other games and other platforms, because we'll talk about it later, but like games like Watch Dogs 2, even games like Destiny may be coming to the NX if all this stuff is being talked about for 2017. Pretty safe bet that it's going to at least start maybe on the NX. May not go too far with it, but they're going to maybe at least support it at the launch. And so lots of reasons to tune in, even if you're just only Nintendo, diehard Nintendo. You're gonna want to be there to check everything out. But speaking of E3 and demos, The Legend of Zelda is going to be there, and it may have some pretty cool stuff with it. It may not be your run-of-the-mill Zelda. It may not be, hey, you're a little boy, and you're going to go into a fire dungeon, and a grass dungeon, and a desert dungeon, and a water dungeon, and a shadow dungeon.
What exactly are you discussing right now?
I am discussing the rumor and or possible...
But you skipped over a story.
No, I didn't. Listen. Zelda may have leaked or rumored a Wii U/NX dungeon count, dynamic weather, and the theme.
However, but did you talk about the fact that IGN has 2 Nintendo demos scheduled for...
I definitely did.
You did?
You were not paying attention. I said IGN has 2 demos. You can check those out, but I recommend going to Koppai.
Oh, well, I had a whole point in there, though, to bring up.
Oh, that they're featuring 2 demos, but we don't know like what they are or something? Or?
Well, I was thinking that most likely one of them, the Tuesday afternoon, will probably be Zelda.
Yeah, I mean...
and then, so we already know probably what... I mean... If you're expecting that it might be 2 new games, potentially, that they're going to be talking about.
No.
I would think... I don't know why they haven't announced that it'll be... Because I think they've announced what the other games that they're going to be covering are, but they've just said, we're just covering 2 Nintendo games. Like
they may not know. Nintendo representatives may bring something over and they just have, like, Nintendo registered to come over to the E3 booth. Yeah. They did have
and I was also thinking potentially Pokemon could be the other one. And so both of those games that we already know are confirmed to be at E3.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought we should maybe make the point. Most likely not going to be new games. But yeah, my apologies. I didn't know that you quickly mentioned on that. Screwing up your snippet times and everything. Is it still part of the E3 snippet or what?
That's still part of the E3 snippet, but now... Moving on, 22... Well, now they all know. The people that listen to the real whole podcast know what this is going to be about.
Violent scribbles on the page.
Anyway. Zelda may include dynamic weather, multiple dungeons, not many, like, big dungeons, but a ton of tiny little dungeons. And
I'm angry about this story.
And not only that, but the theme will probably be fantasy versus technology.
Yes.
Game Explain has revealed that some new dungeons have surfaced there's some new rumors that have surfaced regarding the new Zelda game that is coming to the Wii U and NX next year, probably March 2017, which was also posted by the Examiner. Zelda NX/Wii U will have 4 main dungeons, along with more than 100 mini dungeons for the player to explore. The theme the game may focus on is technology versus fantasy. Finally, the game will have dynamic weather. Basically, a 2017 game. The standard of an open world 2017 game.
Yeah.
Huge for Zelda. If they were to announce, hey, by the way, Watch Dogs 2 may have dynamic weather, and there may be multiple areas to go and collect things, we'd be like, duh. But for Zelda, definitely. It's a pretty big deal. And I think I was listening to Game Explain discuss this, and Derek Bittner, Mr. I haven't got around to playing that yet. I've tweeted back at him with this. He laughed. He agreed. He was like, yeah, I don't get much time to play games and stuff. But every discussion they have on Game Explain is just, Derek, have you had a chance to play that? No, I haven't had a chance to get around to play that yet. But anyway, they were discussing about it. And he had a really cool idea that maybe the mini dungeons will include keys that you can use then for the main dungeons.
Ooh.
Andre had the theory, and he believes that it's probably just going to be rupees, maybe heart pieces. I would like, though...
That'd be lame, though. Yeah, heart pieces would be better.
Heart pieces would be cool, because imagine, like, trying to beat the game where you just go to the 4 dungeons, and you never go and get any of the heart pieces. But if you explore the game, then you get stronger through the heart pieces.
I wonder if they'd make it so you need more heart pieces. Since there's 100, like, I don't know what that would add up to, and, like... mathematically,
yeah, maybe
to
like,
make it
maybe
so,
by like the final dungeon, like they
hit
if
you like going to like I'm just running through 4 dungeons real quick and then get mini dungeons and get a new heart piece and then go through 4 more and then because there's 100, so I mean Wow. I would think that
It'd
they
be 25
might
heart
do...
pieces. Or 25 hearts. Not too many. Like,
Yeah.
when you think of how many hearts you have in the top right of the Zelda, or top left, like, by the time you beat the game.
That's true.
Although you do get them for, like, if you beat, like, whenever you get, like, a new object or something, it's always like,
Yeah, I would think even if they reduced it to, like, 6 or something like that.
Yeah.
That'd make it a little more challenging to... But, I don't know, I just feel like it'd be kind of lame if I go through this little mini dungeon, even though it's not a fully fledged thing, but if I just get to the end, it's like...
That
like
being said, though,
rupee.
I mean, you look at a game like Skyrim,
like a little yellow rupee, I'd be like, no.
Yeah. Well, you look at a game like Skyrim, and that game is filled with tons of mini dungeons.
Yeah. And the loot is insane, though, in those. And
it depends.
I always walk out of those, like, so over-encumbered. I'm just like...
You're just step by step. And
I get all these swords and all these cloaks and stuff.
You got, like, silver goblets and stuff that you're just going to sell and smelt down and all that.
Yeah.
Or as we talked about it way back in episode 13 of Koppai. It was literally the very first snippet that we ever did. Was how can Zelda be influenced by the West? And my main point was a game like Far Cry Primal. There's so many mini dungeons in that game where literally like you take a bow and arrow, you dip it in a torch, light it on fire, and shoot icicles to melt them to get across. And it's like, this is a Zelda game right here. Like this is puzzle solving and all that. And the way what you get at the end there is just a skill point to be added to your RPG kind of growing character development, which gives you a skill layer to unlock. So if Zelda is going the open world RPG route, then that could definitely be a reward. Or even in Zelda terms, that would be something like a heart piece or rupees to buy upgrades for your weapons, your shield, your bow and arrow, etc., etc. So I could see it being a very cool system, and if the mini dungeon design is on par, even with a game like Triforce Heroes, which is essentially just a bunch of mini dungeons with 3 friends, like it's not set up in a narrative sort of way. It is minigame. Or if you look at the way they're doing things nowadays with like Mario Minis on the Move or even Zelda Picross, how Nintendo's become very, very good at doing that portable gaming or gaming like quick little sessions because they're trying to really encourage like don't play for longer than a half hour. If they are doing, or even Captain Toad's a perfect example of these puzzle designs that are done super quick. If Nintendo is pumping in their creative power into these mini dungeons, it could be really, really cool where it's just like, I'm gonna sit down and play The Legend of Zelda this weekend, and there's puzzles and dungeons I still haven't discovered or played. Like that's so unheard of in a Zelda game. Like it's always like I sit down, I have my experience, I'm done with that Zelda, until I want to go back for nostalgia purposes.
Yeah. Well, it'd make it more, I would say, like the first Zelda game, where it is such an open, like new, fresh experience of so many things. I feel almost like that tree burning, like where it's just one random tree that you have to burn, is almost like a mini dungeon in that game of a whole bunch of little secrets that they put in there. And at that time, that probably equaled like 100 mini dungeons of people finding all the little hints and secrets, and for the first time a game like this. So I could see that being the case where it's something similar to that in like a whole 2017 modern.
And you have, I hope, because they've talked about playing Far Cry and stuff, which is a Ubisoft game. I do hope. I'm a huge fan of Ubisoft games simply for the fact of the collectibles. Like, you play an Assassin's Creed, and it's always silly, and it's always the same thing. It's kind of breaking the fourth wall by now. But it's like, go and synchronize yourself with every tip-top of the towers, and go find every pirate scroll, or go find every English document or, like, a piece of the Constitution in Assassin's Creed 3. Like, the Assassin's Creed, or even Ubisoft with Watch Dogs, or etc., or Far Cry and stuff, they do a very good job at like
Ubisoft.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I always thought it was Ubisoft. Ubisoft.
It's Ubisoft.
Ubisoft. Like
Ubisoft. Ubisoft. I'll be hard.
Ubisoft. Wait. When I say Ubisoft out loud, it sounds so weird.
Yeah, it's definitely Ubisoft.
Ubisoft. Ubisoft. Yeah, maybe I've always said it like that, and now I'm just like dwelling on like how is that word pronounced? And when you said Ubisoft, I was thinking just it's spelled U-B, and it's like Ubi.
Yeah, no, it's...
Ooby booby.
I mean, how many... You listen to gaming podcasts all the time. How many times do you hear him say Ubisoft?
Ubisoft, and Ubisoft.
Anyway, they're... Ubisoft is very, very good at, like,
it's
the
just
whole...
an interesting word is all.
Yeah. They're very good at, like, the whole collector mentality of, like, go out, find everything in this world. Right. And it seems like AGI
totally
Numa said... Yeah. No, it's fine. I mean, leave down in the comment section below how you say it. Spell out Y-O-U if you say it Ubisoft, and use O-O if you use Ubisoft. And we'll figure out what one has more votes. Like the video if you use Ubisoft, and like the video if you use Ubisoft. Dislike the video if you say like
Ubisoft.
Ubisoft, yeah, Ubisoft. Like if you say Ubisoft, get them out.
Get them out.
Get them out.
Kill their families.
No, my gosh, dang. All right. And so yeah, we have that, and I mean, dynamic weather. We've kind of seen that. We see that the world is living and breathing in the very few snippets that we've seen of the game, like with the boss coming around the corner and stuff. Like the game's, it's gonna be alive, it's gonna be breathing, it's gonna be ready to go.
Indeed.
It makes me think of Ocarina of Time too. Like remember how that game like had the dynamic like day-night cycle?
Yeah.
And that was always so freaky. Like when it became nighttime and the wolves came out of the ground, I'm like, oh no! Like I was a little kid playing that game. Like when did it come out? 90 something.
95 or
95.
Something?
So I would have been 2 years
96.
old. And I was just like, no!
97.
Like in the drop
up. I think maybe Mario
the
64 was 95, and
oh no, because I think
maybe Zelda was 97 or 98.
I think Majora's Mask is 99 or 2000. It came out 1 year later. So, but the drawbridge goes up for like the Hyrule City and stuff, and it's just, like and you're going there, and you like run to the drawbridge and it's going up, and like you jump and you just can't get in. It's just no, please no, and then you try to hit them with your sword, and they just like block every sword hit because they're
but it was really creepy. It was the guys in the town,
the Re-Dead,
and then they jump on your face
and they hug you. They're just giving you a hug. They're like, "Welcome home, buddy." They're all naked.
But yeah, were you gonna address? You had some little theory about.
I do have a theory. I won't get too into it. Okay. If you want to read my entire theory, go to ign.com/blog/CazRisk/2015/O4/30/will-Zelda-U-B-A-sequel-starring-Majora, and that's as long as the URL goes. Or you can just Google Kaz Risk Majora's Mask Theory, IGN, all that. Basically, what the theory is we've seen Majora's Mask in A Link Between Worlds. We've seen Majora's Mask in Majora's Mask. That means that Majora's Mask originated prior to Ocarina of Time. Because Ocarina of Time has a split in the space-time continuum. Like, if Link dies, it goes this way. If he lives, it goes that way. And if he lives but becomes a kid, it goes that way and stuff. Like, there's 3 different timelines: Wind Waker, Ocarina of Time, and then A Link to the Past. If Majora's Mask, the physical mask, is present in 2 of the different timelines, that means it had to originate prior to the point of splitting, which would leave the option open that the Majora's Mask either originated in Skyward Sword, within Ocarina of Time, or during Minish Cap. Minish Cap, probably not. And the mask is told to be from very ancient tribes, that there's lots of mischief in the land, is what the Happy Mask salesman said. He said there's lots of mischief, these tribes made it, it's all the way back from then. Which means it's probably ancient, and Skyward Sword is the genesis story of all of the Legend of Zelda. It's the very first, like, chronological story of Zelda. All that to say, it seems as though the Zelda we're seeing for Zelda NX, Zelda 2017, is in an open, somewhat empty world. And while it's empty because it's being developed, my theory is that it's shortly after Skyward Sword. Skyward Sword establishes the land, the world we know of Zelda, but then Zelda NX shortly follows that and is farther developing the civilization that we see later in Ocarina of Time. But during that time, you have tribes, you have dungeons, tons of mischief happening, and we see the origin of Majora. Because every mask in Majora's Mask is like a dead person or something. It's like a trapped in soul and stuff. Like you see that first when you become the Deku and all that. It's like a dead Deku kid. And there's very early on, it's kind of established like these are dead people that you have the masks of. That means Majora is a dead boss.
Yeah.
A dead enemy. Could Majora, like not Majora's Mask, but could Majora be one of the prominent villains in The Legend of Zelda NX?
Interesting.
Which would cause, like Majora was known for mischief. That's why like he manipulated the Skull Kid. Could that cause the need for a bunch of side quests, which would fill up an open world? Majora's doing this, Majora's doing that. Lots of connections between all of it. Lots of parallels between Skyward Sword and Majora's Mask. And Majora's Mask been getting a ton of promotion with the remake, with Majora being present in Hyrule Warriors, and with the mask being kind of relevant and everything. I wouldn't be surprised if all that was leading up to
the
relevancy in...
That could be, very well be.
So that's my silly theory. You can read a lot of it, including spoilers for both Skyward Sword, Twilight Princess, etc., etc. All the Zelda games are spoiled in my actual blog. I tried to kind of hold back spoilers for the sake of this discussion. But you can find all of those there. I think it's interesting. I think it has some merit.
Definitely being in the past makes me think that we could definitely get some origins of some of that stuff and not being a total Genesis story. I think that it makes sense that we'd have, it's more of a primitive than Genesis-y, you know.
Yeah,
it's more of like
you kind of see like even in the promotional art that he's very much so like a kind of small town.
And I think Majora definitely fits in with that whole primitive sort of theme. I definitely agree with that. So I definitely see it's a huge possibility. And pure fan service and just the amount of hype and reaction, it'd be really epic if it is in the game that they reveal it at E3 when we see it, and like we're gonna get maybe 2 90-minute demos and possibly more if IGN covers it. So most likely, if that's the main villain, we'll hopefully see or get some sort of hint at that at E3. So
yeah, like the Majora's doing this, Majora's doing that, and hopefully we can have this snippet up prior to the announcement so we can say you heard it here first on Koppai. Also, though, I mean, if you guys don't believe me, if for some reason the snippet goes up late, my blog is on IGN. You can see, written by Kazrisk.
Historically,
that was the very first blog I ever wrote for IGN, and I ended up getting like featured by them a ton of times, and so that was what started it all. Though, was I had an itch one day. I'm like, I need to write for video games. I need to talk about video games with someone out there on the internet, and I'm like, what am I going to share? What do I have to say? Oh, Majora's Mask is going to be a sequel to Skyward Sword and yada 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 yada. And that was what started it all. I'm probably going to make that a different snippet, but I don't know really where to divide it at. But there's a moment where you say like, don't you have a theory and stuff?
Yeah.
And I'll do it then, but not to listen to all that. But
38 minutes in.
One other thing I was going to say though is, I do definitely think, regardless of whether or not it features Majora's Mask or not, I do think it's going to be before Ocarina of Time and after Skyward Sword. There's a time in there that the Zelda timeline says in Hyrule Historia that says like it's like an era of growth and expansion, and that seems to fit so well with an open world game. It'd be really fitting, and it'd be cool if you talk about these mini dungeons and stuff. It could be cool to see like dungeons that you eventually kind of find things that you know of Zelda lore. Like you find the Wind Waker, maybe. You find the original Ocarina. Like maybe there's these kind of like little callbacks. Or more, I guess it'd be more foreshadowing and all that within the game. Moving on.
Pokemon!
Gotta catch 'em all!
2 new Pokemon have been confirmed for Pokemon Sun and Moon. And they're really cute.
All Pokemon are cute.
That's true.
All Pokemon matter. Hashtag Pokemon Lives Matter.
Korokoro has revealed 2 brand new Pokemon that are set to star in Pokemon Sun and Moon. They're gonna star in it.
They're gonna be probably the first ones you see.
Yeah, they're probably gonna be in like one of the first ones in the anime.
Everyone that nuzlocks this game is gonna have these 2 guys in their party.
They'll probably be in the next movie, whatever it is. Those like some little Pikachu.
Ash will have like some sort of friend that has one of these little buggers on his shoulder, and be like, "This is my little buddy Nekawala."
Nekawala. Nekawala is a little sleepy koala that's holding like some sort of a log looking thing, right?
It's like a log pillow sort of thing. Like
yeah.
It's like
he's hugging it. Yeah, it's like clinging to his little log pillow blanket protection thing.
He has a booty on him too. He's kind of like popping it out.
He is the half-awake Pokemon. It has the ability Definite Sleep that prevents it from being afflicted with any status that isn't sleep.
Oh.
Nekawala is a normal type Pokemon, and wait, no, we didn't see this. I had that messed up. Okay, in my notes I had something switched up, but yeah, Nekawala is a normal type Pokemon, and yeah, it just looks like basically a little sleepy koala. Has a little scruff around its face, like a little beard it's got going on. It's really cute. I like it. Some people were kind of saying it looked kind of bland to them.
I think it looks like very, very close to original 200 Pokemon. Like
that's what I was thinking too. I got a very dead.
It looks like just a simple animal that's slightly embellished with a little cuteness, which is like what you saw back in the day, like with Rattata and stuff. Like it's a rat, but it's a little unique in such a way that makes it a monster.
Yeah,
that fits in your
we
pocket.
haven't seen a koala Pokemon yet. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it is weird that we're at 700-800 Pokemon and they're still like. They're still putting out like original designs.
Yeah.
Like it's not like Charmander 2.
Right. The other Pokemon is this dog/deer Pokemon, Iwanko. He's a rock type Pokemon.
Weird. I didn't know he was rock type.
I don't know if it's really a dog/deer. I think maybe just the journalist, whoever typed the news, said, because it was rumored to be, like famously rumored to be a
It looks like just a dog.
Yeah, but it says he's a puppy Pokemon and will either have the keen eye, which prevents its accuracy from being reduced, or vital spirit, which prevents sleep. And it's really adorable.
It's interesting that in the Korokoro magazine picture, they have the same picture of the gameplay leak that happened where they showed off this dog, and it's like pointing him out. Like they're like, it's not even a good picture of the gameplay.
Right.
And they're using it as an example, almost to call out, like, yep, you guys found him, like, good catch. But no, he looks adorable. I'm definitely going to have him in my party. I love his collar.
Well, I think that's definitely probably why. I mean, it was probably all planned. I mean, you got to think that when they show a glimpse of a little Pokemon in a trailer, they know it's there, and they're gonna know that hardcore fans are gonna be picking it out.
Yeah, that can be tricky. I remember when Ganondorf leaked for Smash, which we already knew he was gonna be in there because it's Ganondorf. But I remember when the whole Smash trailer, and he was like off the screen, but there's like a little preview circle of whoever's off the screen, and he was in that, and it's just like people search that stuff hard for any sort of leak, and lo and behold, he was there. Really, really adorable, though. And other Pokemon news included in this snippet. There's a new trailer also for a new Pokemon title, which included some Sun and Moon information. We got these two cute little guys, little bundles of goodness, but we also got, not to be confused with Dragon Ball Z's Cell, we got a new look at Zygarde's other forms, 10% form and complete form from Sun and Moon, one of which looks kind of like a little doggy. The other one looks like a juggernaut of power.
Yeah, well, this is we got actually, the dog thing is from a whole other thing. That was from like the Pokemon Championships or something like that. They revealed a little trailer, showed something of these new forms from the game. I think it was actual footage from Pokemon Sun and Moon, but they revealed this new game, Pokemon
Galileo.
Did you watch the trailer for it?
No.
Because they sing that song. It's like, Pokemon Ga-Ole, or something like that. I need to rewatch it again, but it's like Ga-Ole. And there's also the little Pokemon A on the Ole. So it's like, that's how it is. Pokemon.
Clever, I guess.
In the trailer, it's like a really, really high resolution game. It's very arcadey. But they do have Zygarde's like complete looking form in there, and it looks really cool. And they do.
That was such a waste to not have Pokemon Z.
Yeah, definitely. I wonder behind the scenes there must have been. What were the plans for Pokemon Z? It had to have been discussed. It had to have made it to at least some sort of phase of.
Because the thing is Pokemon X and Y were all about balance and.
Most likely Zygarde's forms are from Z brainstorming or just leftover planning from.
Yeah, like, because X, like, Y is all about destruction, X is all about, like, growth and, nature and stuff, and then Z was all about balance and stuff in the middle of the earth, and it was just, like, the themes they wrestled with in X and Y were so perfect that it could have been so well resolved in a whole new story, in a whole new game, and it could have just been the same map, but just a different kind of, like, the whole black and white 2 sort of thing, and had Z and his evolved forms and all that, and they just blew it. And it's interesting, though, there's a new theory out there you guys can check out. Once again, shout out to Game Explain. They have a very thorough discussion of it, about how how Sun and Moon is going to be about, like, planetary alignments and how that relates to Pokemon synergy and a unison between Pokemon stuff. And I listened to that, and it's talking, like, once again, Derek Bittner, like, talked about how there's, like, Hebrew and Greek and mythology and all this stuff being brought into it, and it's carried out through X and Y and Ruby and Sapphire and Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and about the balance in human beings and how they relate and the connection in the community. I mean, it is some heavy stuff for Pokemon, and it's all leading up to Sun and Moon, and really brings a lot of, like, theory to it, and even has, like, it goes in, like, the zodiac signs and how Leo the lion and stuff, like, how that gets brought into it. Like, it is some really cool stuff. And so we'll have to see Pokemon, all these Pokemon spin-offs nowadays.
I know.
Just rein it in and give us Pokemon Stadium. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I was really like, is this a Pokemon Stadium sort of thing? Because at first it kind of looked that way, and I was like, oh my gosh, please, 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 please. And it's like, what is this? Gowlay. And then it was doing these weird, like, moves, and like, what is this? What is going on?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Nintendo 3DS sells over 60 million units worldwide. Nintendo may not have much... No, let me start over there. Nintendo may not have had much to celebrate regarding software sales in May, judging from the recently published best-selling games in the United States, but the company has announced that its successful Nintendo 3DS platform has shifted over 60 million units so far worldwide.
Well, flippin' done.
Yeah, wow.
That's tough with phones and
especially
iPads. And as a follow-up to the DS, and honestly, I think a pretty bad name. Like, I think people hate on the Wii U name. I think the 3DS is also a bad name, because it's just like, it's the same problem where it's like, I want a DS. So you want a 3DS, a new 3DS, a regular DS, a 2DS. It's just like, it's the same sort of confusion where I think a lot of people probably went in and bought, like, just DSIs and stuff. And so you have all that. You have it. I mean, my fiance is a teacher, and I was talking to her students once about Minecraft, and they all are like, Minecraft, yeah, I play that on my phone. And it's just everyone plays on their phone, like, they just play Minecraft and they just play on their phone, and it's just like all of her students and stuff have little smartphones and all that, and it's just no one plays 3DSs and all that nowadays. Like, you say, I mean, obviously they do, but it's just like the overwhelming accessibility for people is, hey, I'm a parent, here's my phone.
Yeah. And
for Nintendo to break through that, and not only have people spend money in addition to their phones on another mobile form of gaming, but 3DSs ain't cheap. I mean, they're at least at their bare minimum with the 2DS, $100 for most of its life cycle, but most of the time probably $200 if not more for, like, some of the newer stuff. And they sold 60 million.
Yeah, really impressive.
Very, very impressive.
But it's always had a really solid, I think, library from the beginning. It's got all of the hardcore Nintendo fans on board. Plus Pokemon is a huge hit on it.
And it's like, if people,
Mario,
a lot of people this generation were like, if I'm going to play Nintendo, do I want a Wii U or do I want a 3DS?
Yeah. And
I think a lot of people were like, well, if I'm going to get my Nintendo fix, I'll get the 3DS. And yeah, Smash definitely was a big thing where it's like, oh, but I want Smash. Oh, it's on the 3DS. Oh, now let's get it there. But I mean, Pokemon, Super Mario 3D Land, New Super Mario Brothers 2, Pokemon. I think I already said Pokemon, but there's a new Zelda on there. Like, it's just, it had everything this generation.
And I think a lot of people actually, honestly, still somewhat. I mean, 3DS.
And it's backwards compatible with all the DS games.
3DS is huge in Japan just because mobile is just way bigger over there. But I also think that a lot of people in the West still, too, associate Nintendo a lot with the Game Boy, a lot with the Game Boy Advance, the Game Boy, the DS. They associate Nintendo a lot with handhelds in handheld history, and so I think that just a lot of people navigate, if they want a handheld gaming experience that's actually a step up from apps in the app games, then they're gonna go to Nintendo, and they're not gonna go to Sony for the Vita.
Now they just need to make the NX needs, if it has portable gaming or if we have MH or whatever it is, it does need to get up to the HD thing, because it's weird playing Miitomo and having Miitomo be like more HD and more crisp than even like my Wii U at times. Like, it's just such a good display on mobile phones, and even the Vita, like, it needs to up that up. But it is a beautiful console, and I'm really, really proud of it. Also, speaking of soft or hardware sales, the Wii U sold less than 28,000 units, and the 3DS sold less than 72,000 units in May. The results have come in; they're not good. It has worst month in sales ever. Probably not a coincidence. That's immediately following the announcement of the Nintendo NX and that's release in March. And so, same for 3DS and all that. Yeah, just it's dying down. 2016 is going to be month after month, Koppai after Koppai, reporting low sales numbers for every part of Nintendo, with the exception of probably the holiday season. And even that'll probably just be isolated to the time around Zelda or Pokemon Sun and Moon.
Yeah.
And so yeah, sad, but
we got some other kind of sad news.
Kind of sad, immediately followed by kind of joy.
Kind of sad with kind of joy. YookaLaylee has been delayed till 2017.
But it's freaking awesome.
Yeah, it is.
And they had a new trailer.
Yeah. I am not bummed at all. I mean, it's just sad that it's like, I want YookaLaylee.
Delaying it for Delaying it for the NX launch.
That'd be awesome.
NX launch game.
They're probably going to do
YookaLaylee.
that.
Yeah, probably.
It'll be a Wii U NX.
Well, because there's two things to this.
Yes, there is. Yes.
One.
What's the second part?
Is that they themselves, Playtonic Games, formerly Rare, which developed Banjo-Kazooie, Conker's Bad Fur Day, GoldenEye, 007, so pretty good track record, tons of more, Donkey Kong Country and all that. I mean, they were the king.
Yeah.
I mean, even more so kind of than Nintendo. Like, because they had such a wide diversity. They could make platformers, they could make adult games, kid games, serious games, first person shooters, it was just, they had every first person, second person, third person, fourth person. They had it all covered, and they're funny, they're very talented. They are one of the best developers in the history of video games, and they all came together on this game, and they personally are going to be handling the internal development for YookaLaylee on the Wii U and PC versions, while the other PS4 and Xbox One versions will be handled, I believe, where is it?
Team 17.
Team 17, yeah, that was at the bottom of the thingy there when they had their trailer and stuff. It was like celebrating 25 years of Team 17. Writer Andy Robinson explained the reason behind this. They feel that, quote, naturally have so many backers who opted for the Wii U because, the history with Banjo-Kazooie on the Nintendo 64 and Donkey Kong, etc., etc. The size of the team, meanwhile, makes it difficult for the team to port the game to every console versions, because you can imagine from a developer standpoint that, you have to do this, and that, so it takes quite a bit of time. And there's also a deeper reason behind the pick. They, quote, think it would, quote, feel right playing on a Nintendo system to some people, and they want to make sure the Wii U gets the right attention. Banjo-Kazooie was brought up. Robinson saying that there's a lot of nostalgia around the game and that it heralds from Rare's Nintendo days. And I think that they're working on the Wii U version and also using it to work on the NX version, which is why they're working on the PC version as well, because the NX will probably be very similar. It will be like a hybrid of PC, Wii U sort of software, hardware. And I think they want to do it right. I think they want to use the touchscreen. I think they want to use whatever sort of perks are coming to that. I think they want to make it like shine with Nintendo. So when people look at YookaLaylee, it's like, but if you get on the Wii U, you can do this, and that, which you don't see nowadays. Shovel Knight was another example that was like the best place to play Shovel Knight is on Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
It has the amiibo, it has co-op, it has, the off-screen play. Like, that's the best way to play it. And it's for Nintendo fans. Shovel Knight's designed around Link and Mega Man and all of that.
I don't know for sure, but did the Shovel Knight amiibo ever get support for the 3DS version and the whole how that has new 3DS does, and also they have the adapter for the old 3DS?
I always forget that the new 3DS can use amiibo.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I remember one time I touched my little guy down for Smash Bros, and it was just it works very well. It was very fluid, and it fits very well on the bottom of the screen. But it was just this is so weird. I just didn't even think of that.
Yeah,
I'm surprised it ain't. I do want to get the Mario mini games, but no, I don't know. I don't know that for sure. But yeah, the other news is just that it got delayed for more polish and all that. They want to make the game they said it could be done by October, but they're just wait.
Yeah,
and we don't know how this fall is shaping up to be. Most likely, be pretty full. I mean, we have Watch Dogs coming for sure. In November. We're probably gonna have some pretty good PS4 games and all that. Probably some Mario Kart DLC coming, I would guess. And Paper Mario, or not Paper Mario, Paper Mario Color Splash is coming, most likely. And then Pokemon Sun and Moon. So we have a pretty good holiday lineup, and there's always backlogs to tackle. If you insist that you have no games to play, I highly doubt you've played every game. There's always more stuff to play. You just gotta
That'd be insane if you said you have no games to play.
And if then if you're saying that you have no money to buy games to play your backlog, then you wouldn't have money to get new games anyway. So there's never a problem with games. You always have
free
games
everywhere too. If you can't afford games, just go. And if you're listening to this, you must have internet. So just play some phone game.
Or some friend downloaded Koppai for
Mitomo.
you, burnt it onto a CD, and gave it listen to this Nintendo podcast, and they got to this spot, and they're like,
it's on a floppy disk.
I don't know if it could fit on a floppy disk because we use pretty good audio.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
in 32 bitrate or something.
But yeah, we've talked about YookaLaylee in the past. They've put Microsoft on blast, and they're doing it even again at the very end of their trailer. They're by the time you guys see this game, it's gonna be filled with cars and nuts and bolts and stuff. It's such a good it's so perfect. It's exactly what I wanted out of it, and it's the return of 3D platformers, even more so kind of than what Mario's done. Yeah. And if we get YookaLaylee and Super Mario Galaxy 3 and a new Zelda and all of that
that'd be
all
awesome.
together in Q1 next year.
Elder Scrolls game, please.
No, you're not getting Elder Scrolls. Animal Crossing U, for example, you may get that.
Mario Kart DLC, please.
Yeah. I think you're gonna get the Skyrim remaster.
Moving on, Watch Dogs 2 NX. Koppai Kaz has a theory he'd like to spit to y'all.
I do have a theory. So we had Watch Dogs 1 on the Nintendo Wii U. Didn't really use too many gamepad functionalities from what I recall. I don't think it even had hacking mini games. We're also going to cut the Would You Rather. Just end it.
Okay.
Sorry. We're at an hour, so.
Yeah.
My theory, though, to end out the podcast and to maybe ask you guys what you think on this theory. Do you think it would happen? Would you like it to happen? How would you like to see it go down? Is I don't believe Watch Dogs 2 was told to be coming to the Nintendo Wii U. I think it was just PS4 and Xbox One.
Right.
And I'm going to throw another theory in here. I'm going to throw two theories out here. 2 games coming to the NX. Will Watch Dogs 2 come to the Nintendo NX? And will Destiny 2 come to the Nintendo NX? Because in the past week, we've gotten bits of news on 2 games. Watch Dogs 2 and Destiny Rise of Iron. Watch Dogs did come to the Nintendo Wii U. And would make a lot of sense, I think, to come to the NX as a launch game. It'll be one of those things where it comes out in November and then comes out to the NX in March. But I think it could definitely work, especially if the specs of the Nintendo NX are ready to go.
Ubisoft
is good friends with Nintendo. Right. They have faith in them, and they would give them the benefit of the doubt, I think. And if it's easy to port, I don't see why not. Also, Rise of Iron is Destiny's first DLC to only be supported on next gen. It's officially abandoning the last gen train.
Like Grand Theft Auto 5 did eventually.
Yeah. So it's exclusive to next gen, but it's also setting up a future where Destiny 2 most likely in 2017 will be all next gen. It'll probably come out fall of 2017 is my
Yeah.
theory. And I'm wondering if it's all next gen and it's kind of like a cohesive experience of Destiny, if that also will come to the NX. At that point, the NX will have been out for several months. And, I mean, Activision and Bungie and all that, they're all about, just getting it out to as many places as possible. That's why they originally had it on the old software and hardware and stuff. My theory is that those games will come out as well. And so, maybe for the would you rather, just for your thoughts, would you rather have Destiny or Watch Dogs on the Nintendo NX? My vote would be, if I had to pick, I would want Destiny on the Nintendo NX. I think that could be a really awesome experience to take it on the go. I don't know exactly how that would work on the go and stuff.
I was gonna pose that question to you. Doesn't Destiny have a pretty good remote play functionality with the Vita and the PS4?
It does, yeah. The developer.
And so I was thinking, yeah, definitely. If it would probably just be as fluid and good on the NX handheld, whatever that is that accompanies the NX. So definitely, I think that could work. And also, if it has a double screen thing, somewhat similar to the gamepad on the Wii U, they could utilize it more. Although I don't think they probably would. Because I don't think that right now Nintendo has that confidence enough that they're going to be like, all right, Watch Dogs 2 is specifically, we're going to try to make so that NX is like hyped around Watch Dogs 2. But, so I don't know. I definitely think that Destiny, since I played a lot more and have more faith and confidence that it's going to be a great sequel, that they could really do it to the next level next time, I would say I want the next Destiny.
If the NX is on par with the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, or even the PlayStation 4K, which was confirmed, by the way, or Xbox Scorpio, it'd just be so weird if we get Destiny 2 and it doesn't come to the NX.
Yeah.
Like, at that point, it'd be like, why? If it's the same kind of hardware.
Yeah.
But it's also, I can't really imagine, though, Destiny on a Nintendo console. It just seems weird. I can't imagine like a Ubisoft game very easily on.
I can imagine it. I think that Destiny would actually be pretty at home on the Nintendo because they have. I feel that it almost has a Disney-esque vibe to it, and it almost I haven't completely finished the game, but it has a sort of lighthearted, almost. It's got some dark elements to it for sure. It's
cool.
A dark game. It has some gritty things. Of course, it's got violence but I mean, it almost seems in the vein of like Star Wars is with Disney, and just some of the things that they like the hub world. It seems very minimalized in a kind of Nintendo sort of way.
It's weird because the game does have a ton of depth. Like, the raids require so much coordination and skill.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's so accessible.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a first-person shooter guy. I'm not a Call of Duty guy. But I was able to go into Destiny, and with some time and with some effort, I was able to, like, dominate the Crucible because the learning curve is so easy, and it just puts you right in there to the action and makes you feel like you're legendary. Like, it makes you feel very good in the game. I was going to say what would be really cool is if with the NX they have like an exclusive Samus outfit or something, like loot or gear.
That'd be really cool. Yeah.
And they're like one of the rarest guns in the game was the Gallahorn, which was like a rocket launcher, and they're giving them away now for free if you pre-order the new DLC. They're like, you get.
Well, we've had Call of Duty games and stuff on Wii.
Yeah.
And so I mean, they've had the whole big online first-person shooter game. So. It's not totally out of the question. Oh, crap.
Just killed a bug. And on that note... Wait, real quick. On that note, we are done with Koppai Podcast episode 24. What? Episode 26.
Yeah.
What am I talking about?
You went back 2 episodes.
Yeah, I don't even know. I think the reason why is because I had to write down the note of like when that snippet was over, so I knew when to cut off, and it was at a minute or an hour 04. And I was just thinking I had 4 on the brain.
Yeah.
But no, thank you so much for listening to Koppai Podcast episode 26. Be sure to head over to youtube.com/Koppai Gaming and subscribe, and also be sure to head over to SoundCloud and iTunes and leave us a positive review.
Be sure to go to that potty before you go to bed.
Yeah, make sure before you go to bed, just sit down the toilet, pull out your 3DS.
Because you don't want to wake up soaked in your bed.
Maybe you do. Maybe you just want to wake up in a good old-fashioned swim. I've been playing in my pool a lot this past week.
Yeah, it sounds good because it's been hot in my house.
And I have this special sunscreen that has like aloe in it. And I want to ask people, have you ever drank aloe?
Ew.
No, it's so good. It's like the stuff that they make sunscreen out of and all that, and like
Sounds
or burn
gross,
relief,
dude.
And when you drink it, I think I had it with like a kind of ginger ale or something.
Actually, yeah, I think that is it kind of minty.
It's like it tastes minty, but when you swallow it, it's kind of like a gelatin, like in the water. It's kind of pulpy actually, and when you drink it and you swallow it, your whole body cools off, like it pumps through your veins, and you just feel like you have a surge. I had it in my Spanish class in high school. She brought like a big jar of it and shared it with the whole class. We all had like little sips and stuff, little cups.
Interesting.
And she got it because she was like off in Spain, like they had it like all over the place there, and she had it there. But I haven't been able to find it since.
I remember some bad blisters you got as a kid, like playing out in the sun. It was like horrible, like horrifying stuff.
Yeah, it was
not safe for Koppai.
Yeah, no. But I've been out in the pool a lot, and I've been putting that stuff on, like some aloe and stuff. That like prevents sunburn, but still enhances your tan. So I'm gonna be all super tan for my wedding. Yeah, that's my goal. But it's also been really fun. Been splattering water around and pool noodles, and it's been just great. Great stuff. Also, be sure to come back here to youtube.com/Koppai Gaming tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific time. Or actually, no, 8:30 Pacific time. We'll be live streaming prior to Nintendo's announcement or start of the show. And we'll be doing a pre-E3 show. And then when the show starts, we'll pull back. We'll have our camera like there so you can see our reactions and stuff. Maybe we'll be like very, very turned down so you don't hear us talking and stuff if we do say anything, but we'll just be watching and enjoying the show. And then when it is so appropriate, we will have reactions and discussion. It may be in between different transitions as they set up the stage for a new demonstration, or it may be at the very end of the show. Either way, we'll give our thoughts and impressions right there on the bat. And then maybe stop it and record like a more in-depth reaction for a separate episode. Either way, we'll be discussing E3 that's a lot tomorrow on Tuesday. And then if we want to, if we can, if we have the time, we will do it on Wednesday. But tomorrow's going to be our big focus for sure. Because that's like the first day, you know. Maybe we'll do live coverage tomorrow, but then like overall our thoughts and impressions on Wednesday afternoon after watching it all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Good call?
Good call.
Head over to patreon.com/Koppai Productions. Give us $1 to support us so we can live our dreams and to give you more exclusive content. And until next time, let's get out of this hot basement. When's your air conditioner gonna get fixed?
Hopefully tomorrow.
Hopefully tomorrow?
Yeah.
Before E3?
So I hope so.
Yeah, it'd be really nice if we don't like live stream in here with
However, yeah, that's true. It'll I turned into Jay Leno there, but no,
I guess you could say that. Yeah,
it's early enough in the morning. It's cooler here.
Oh yeah,
but
and if we just get like 2 tubs of ice and just kind of just take off our apparel, lay in the ice. I guess we're gonna be on camera.
We'll be live streaming naked. E3
well, we can't show our nipples on Twitch. Yeah, and I would assume you probably can't on YouTube either.
Nipple clamps on.
Little like mushrooms from like Nintendo, right? The Mario mushrooms. Man, I think progressively each week we get a little bit farther towards the line, and one day we're just gonna kick it over. But until next time, not bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 snippets. If I divide the Zelda one up into 2, which I probably will. Do you think I should? The Majora's Mask Theory and then the Talk of the Dynamic Weather, or I could just do one whole snippet. Actually, I'll just make it one snippet. Might as well. Do I really need to divide that up into 2 snippets, the whole Zelda thing? I don't think so. Well, otherwise it's 17 minutes long. No, wait. Yeah, 17 minutes long, so I may have to divide that one up into 2. We got 12 minutes, 17.
We had a deal!
All down and dusted!
I'm starting to think you can't be trusted.
What I lack for in... What is it? Oh, what I lack in might, I make up for an appetite! Oh, little Fion. I almost introduced myself, like, instead of Koppai Kaz, like, I'm one of your hosts, Kazaresk. I am the drowned god.
Oh, little Fion.
You're old, brother.
Tossed him right over the rope bridge.
You killed our king! I did. I tossed him right over the rope bridge.
Watched him fall.
Alright. So I'll edit this and I'll go up tomorrow.
He should be your ruler. He's your king. That's on tonight.
And wait, no.
Okay.
And the conference for EA and Activision is going on today.
Ooh.
So that'll be up on the watch. Oh, Bethesda's today.
Holy crap! No way. Tonight?
Bethesda's, yeah, I think tonight.
Okay, crap.
And
I gotta get going.
I have a thing tonight. It sucks.
Dang it.
I have a double date or triple date with my fiance and her friends.
Yeah, that
I know,
sucks,
right?
man.
Yeah, that's freaking like woman of my dreams. I have to hang out with her and like her friends. Oh my gosh, it's E3 week! E3!